Breaking: Supreme Court makes shocking announcement on Islam being taught in public schools. American parents have been fighting the infiltration of Islam in our public schools for a very long time. Many have been fighting even before anyone else realized it was happening. We were called conspiracy theorists and nuts for our effort, but we continued fighting a corrupt system. Common Core was put in place as a smokescreen to hide the Islamic lessons being pushed on our children without our permission, and God was forcefully removed from our schools. Those of us on the front lines of that fight in particular did all we could to fight back. The end result for many of us was to pull our children out of public school and homeschool them. By the thousands kids were pulled from the public system, thereby hurting the public school numbers and funding. We have created entire communities of homeschooling families, and we will never go back to allowing the system to try and raise our children into the very liberal SJWs we see coming out in droves from colleges. However, this newest turning point in favor of truth and God being brought back to America is one we will fully back and support. The Supreme Court is finally doing its job. Islam is being banned from public schools. Judge Gorsuch is an American hero with just this one move. According to the U.S. Herald, when then-Republican candidate Donald Trump spoke across the nation at countless rallies of how important it was for a Republican to win the presidential nomination so that a conservative Supreme Court justice could be nominated to preserve the court's balance of power, little did the left realize just how important that one single issue was for traditional conservatives. And regardless of what the left threw in their attempt to denigrate the Trump candidacy, conservatives realized that our republic was at stake, and whatever differences we had with one another, without a balanced Supreme Court that values our Constitution as written by our founding fathers, America would be doomed. Moreover, just how close we came was apparent in the recent Supreme Court decision handed down just recently, when for the first time the full panel of 9 justices came together to decide on the fate of Islam being taught within our public school system. The drama being played out behind closed doors and away from the public was no doubt a reaffirmation of America's principles as defined within our founding documents, that radical and dangerous doctrines such as Sharia law or any ideology that contradicts basic human rights, will not be a part of America's curriculum within our public schools. The 5-4 ruling illustrated just how important the election of President Trump was and his pick of Judge Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court. Judge Gorsuch wrote, "The government certainly has no business being involved in religion, but this isn't a government issue or a religious issue. This is about the judicial branch interpreting the laws as they apply to the teaching of religion. We shouldn't be teaching any religions in this country besides standard Judeo-Christianity, as our founders wanted, and we certainly shouldn't be filling the children with lies about Islam being a religion of peace when they see the carnage on the news almost every day." Ironically, Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch cast the tie-breaking vote that decided the only part of Islamic history is the true historical account of radical Islam and the true teachings of Sharia law upon a civil society. We are a country founded on the values and principles of Christianity, and we will not accept forced indoctrination of our children. One way or another we were hell-bent on stopping it. Thankfully, our voices were heard by the one court in the land that no one can argue with. Islam is out of our schools on paper, but we will not be safe until Common Core and even the curricula they claim is not part of the core by using different names like State Standard, are completely destroyed. Keep fighting and pushing, maybe we can get the Islamic agenda completely out of all that is inherently American. It is not welcome here, and it does not belong here. The Constitution and Sharia cannot coexist. Barbarism and civility do not and will not ever be able to walk hand in hand. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.